What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and today we got an update notification. So gonna be talking about the upcoming update, the new weapon refines, and the Legendary Roy remix that we have got. So Legendary Roy gets Spurn 3 to his slot B now, which is definitely an upgrade compared to Renewal 3 which he had before, and he also gets a remix to his Human Virtue 2. So at start of turn, now he can buff up any kind of human ally for +6 attack and speed within 2 spaces of him, so it's definitely much better now. And again, with this kind of slotsy skill, it is going to be working for only the human allies, and he can get extra attack, speed, defense, and resistance in combat depending on the highest visible buff on allies in those stats within 2 spaces. So this is kind of similar to what Caden can do with his weapon, but here Roy takes the advantage of it himself by buffing up his allies, and then he can get more damage reduction depending on the total bonuses of the allies within 2 spaces. So by himself he can buff up 2 stats, which is attack and speed, so he can get up to like 36% damage reduction by himself, and if you like completely buff up an ally, then this can cap at 40% damage reduction. So along with Spurn, this can stack up multiplicatively, so in total he can get like up to 64% damage reduction. So yeah, that can be pretty good, but keep in mind that this Human Virtue damage reduction is only on foe's first attack, and the Spurn damage reduction is based on speed. So Legendary Roy is not the fastest unit in the modern times, but still he can get more speed with his slotsy skill at the very least, and I hope that his weapon refine can give him even more speed to make full use out of Spurn. So this remix is decent honestly, but I'm still going to be holding on my final verdict when we see his weapon refine, because I'm still kind of skeptical about his weapon refine because it does have distant counter built into it. And we have seen time and time again that Intelligent Systems has this very skewed idea of distant counter weapons where they don't get the strongest weapon refines. And as a sword infantry unit, like Legendary Roy, you definitely need something really insane to stand out. So yeah, hoping that he can get a really good weapon refine along with this remix. So far, Human Virtue 2 does seem pretty nice, definitely helps him a bit more. And if his weapon can give him null follow-up, that would be the perfect thing honestly, to go along with his damage reduction and with his high speed. And then the other weapon refines are also there. So we do have weapon refine for Pain as well. So she's a Blue Beast Cavalier, and her Toggle Fang just gives her extra stats on being alone, and that's pretty much it. So she definitely needs something more unique to stand out. And as a Beast Cavalier, it's kind of hard to stand out in this meta, and as it is, you don't really have access to too many skills because you get excluded out of them because of being a Cavalier or because of being a Beast. So I hope that you can get something unique, because Pain is definitely a pretty nice merge project that people used to invest into back in the day. And then we also have weapon refine for Mordecai. So Muarim did get recently released, and Muarim pretty much does the same thing which Mordecai does with his weapon, but by smiting. And Muarim can do that, and he can have a massive range of debuffs. So Mordecai does face a lot of competition in that aspect, and Mordecai is also not very fast. So I hope that his combat can improve and his support can actually become, better. And Muarim is also a lot easier to transform as a beast compared to Mordecai. And then we have got Kjelle getting a weapon refine. So Kjelle is one of those units which is really hard to invest into, because not only she's competing with units like Brave Hector, but she's also 5-star logged. So it's not even easy to get merges for her. So that's why she has not been seen that much, and I can just count on a single hand how many times I've seen her ever since her release. And it's gonna be a pretty tough task comparing to someone like Brave Hector, but that's why, like, if she doesn't really compete in his niche and get something more unique, then she can stand out, and because she's a 5-star logged unit, she can maybe get something, much better. I just hope that it's not like FE tier of weapon refine, because that would be really, really annoying for Kjelle, a not easily mergeable unit. Something that could make her usable at unmerge would be ideal honestly, because not a lot of people have merged Kjelles. And then we also have Fallen Mareeta getting her weapon refine. So she just has -1 special cooldown and the dive bomb effect built into her weapon, and again, being a sword infantry unit, it's really hard for her to compete with so many of the other units. I'm kind of expecting that she's probably going to be getting like a tempo skill in her weapon refine that can just make her work in the player phase, instead of functioning as a mixed phase unit like the normal Mareeta or Ascended Mareeta. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting. And then the final unit is actually Brattle Fjorm. So Brattle Fjorm is still relevant in the Astro season for isolating Mirabilis. In the Light season, we do have Milla, and many times you can actually tech against a Brattle Fjorm with a free-to-play Dancer in Dancer Eldigan by just stacking up HP. And then in the Chaos season, it's not going to be easy to stack up her HP. So Brattle Fjorm could maybe get an easier HP check, and she is still the first unit who introduced the isolation effect. So if she gets something more supportive and just doubles down on her niche, then that would be the best case scenario where she could be useful in Aether raids. So those are all of the weapon refines this month, 6 refines. So 2 of them are sword infantry units, and then 3 of them are blue. There's no Une remix this month, so they're just going to be doing 1 remix per month, it seems. And if that just keeps up, then next month probably Legendary Alm is going to be getting his refine and remix. I don't really think that Naga is going to be getting her refine and remix next month, because Une is actually the mythic that got released before Naga. So they are following that order, and if they keep up with the order, then Une should be the one to get the refine and remix before Naga. So that's why Legendary Alm pretty much falls into the next month. And then we also have some combat manuals. So we have got Summer Lilina, who is definitely pretty useful as a fodder because of Broadleaf Fan and also because of Sabotage Defense. So Sabotage Defense is not as easily available compared to Sabotage Resistance, but eventually I think all Sabotage skills are going to be ending up in the 3-star, 4-star pool or on the Grail units. So that's why the main fodder for her is going to be Broadleaf Fan. So Broadleaf Fan was absolutely amazing like 2-3 years ago, but it definitely fell off as we saw more and more debuff neutralization skills, and then we saw the unity skills, and just overall the bulk of the units increased. So Broadleaf Fan was mainly used in Aether raids on a Vantage Sweeper. Even now, I guess you could use it in the Chaos season with a high attack dagger unit, like Soth for example, but it did fall off a bit when it came to that whole Vantage strategy. It just gives you extra attack depending on the debuffs on the opponent. So if you have a highly merged dagger unit, then Broadleaf Fan could be useful if they don't have a preferred weapon. And then we also have Summer Dorothea, and if you did get her Forma sold, then this could be a free merge for you. If not, then she does provide you with Hone Attack 4 and Attack Cantrip. Her weapon is not really that significant compared to the other daggers that are available that are just much more consistent. And Attack Cantrip, I mean, it's a good skill for a dancer, I guess, but it's still going to be competing with Wings of Mercy and like teleportation skills on flyers. And Hone Attack 4 could be a nice skill to be run on maybe some arena unit that really wants to have a 300 SP Slotsy skill. So this could be a good option, and Hone Attack 4 is definitely not that bad for just buffing up the attack of the allies. So yeah, the 5-star Ephemera options are pretty decent this time. They do have decent fodder, especially Summer Lilina. At one point I actually saved orbs and got Summer Lilina for my Soth. So Broadleaf Fan definitely has had quite a bit of journey. We also have Desert Deen in the Ephemera Manuals as well, and he is a pretty solid dagger cavalier. Bone Carver is actually a pretty nice dagger as well that does give you extra offenses and also gives you the splash damage, but it is competing with Vicious Dagger or Courtly Fan with that partial null follow-up effect. But still, it's a nice budget option if you just want to have an offensive dagger. He does have the snack skill as well, again the budget option, and Roshia does have the form skill at 4-star, so again a pretty decent budget option which you could get. And Stoutlands could be a nice option if you have already built up like a plus 10 Dancer Eldigan. And then we have Silas with Reposition and Steady Stance 3, which is always useful, and Soleil with Drive Resistance, and also Blazing Wind, easily one of the best AoE specials. We started with Legendary Roy and we're finishing this off on the original version, so he just provides you with Triangle Adept, and that is pretty much it. So yeah, refines are definitely a lot more exciting than the Ephemera units, but still at least the Ephemera units do give you some unique fodder. So that's that, and then we're going to be getting some new memento events, which is always useful. And they're also making a few changes to Arena Assault, where the blessing filter will be set by default based on the seasons that are ongoing. So that is pretty good because you don't really have to select the seasons every single time. And they're also going to be adding more dragon flowers to the ranked rewards. So this kind of tells me that not a lot of people are playing Arena Assault. Arena Assault, before it got dunked by Summoner Duels, was definitely seeing a decline of players. So the decline has probably continued and they just want to incentivize players to play Arena Assaults. That's why the Dragon Flowers are being given out more. And this is always good because Dragon Flowers are going to be getting increased when Choose Your Legends 6 comes out. That's usually when the level goes up. So getting more Dragon Flowers is always useful. And then Summoner Duels is also being updated, so the cap is going to be 2,100. The school structures and Aetherytes are going to be upgradable to level 10. We have 2 new songs getting added with the White Heron from Path of Radiance and Ordinary Day from Shadows of Valentia. Yeah, this one is pretty chill, honestly, the Shadows of Valentia. I really like the music of Shadows of Valentia. It's so different compared to a lot of the Fire Emblem games. They're also going to be making a slight change in the mock battles in Aetherytes, where if a season has ended, if you try to mock battle in that season, it's just going to be counting the bonus allies from the preceding season. So it's pretty nice for the mock battles, essentially, if you just want to test out your teams. And they're going to be adding Fallen Muarim and Bridal Lorum to the Grail pool. They're also going to be changing some other small things, like Bridal Lorum's voice lines when she dances is going to be shorter, and then they're going to be having much better display of the damage values when there's a lot of damage reduction stacking. There's of course going to be maintenance on the same day when this update is going to be coming out for like 3 hours. And before the day of this maintenance, we're going to be having the new trailer for the upcoming summer banner, so that is definitely going to be interesting. So hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Broadly Fan against debuff neutralization. So with that, still see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.